Shalom Aleichem, Agutavach. We are continuing here in the Hachseg's learning of the Pele Yoetz, day number 241, a new chapter that will take us 2 days, called Hakah, hitting parents that hit and strike their children. And the truth is, some of these words that in the Pele Yoetz are revolutionary. He was far beyond his years. The chinuch system that we see, the way that we see the Gedolah Yisrael speaking about hitting and loving and everything today, he is very much on target. Listen what he writes. Rabbi Chazal teach us, Hamake b'nei gadol, somebody who strikes his older son, Chayiv nidui, the father himself or the mother, whoever hit them, they deserve to be excommunicated. Ulefum taima afanu nilma delav dafka make b'nei gadol. It doesn't mean if you hit your oldest son. The reason that you're in trouble if you're a parent who hits their child is because you could cause your son to hit back and to kick back. He's going to end up cursing his father, hitting his father, and then he's over on the father himself, who started up with his son, who hit that young boy, or hit that young man, whoever it is, and now the son gets angry and fierce, and he hits his father back. The son now did a terrible avla, a terrible affair. He's not allowed to hit. You're not allowed, a son is not allowed to hit his father, or a daughter is not allowed to hit her mother, father and mother. So therefore, you, the father who hit your son, you cause him to do a sin, and therefore better not to hit them. When it says over here, your benay agadol, your older son, doesn't mean it has to be an older son. Ela afilu katan, even a young child. Kol shiadei b'sheinu mekabel moros. If you know that your child is not going to accept your authority, kagoin b'doris halalu, says the Pele Yoetz over 100 years ago, like in our generation, the chutzpah yaske, that the insolence, the chutzpah, is just ever expanding and growing in the world. A son could kick off his father, not only by hitting him, even if you yell at your son angrily, the son will get angry with you. He's not going to accept your rebuke. So you think screaming and yelling is going to get your kid to comply with what you want? Says the Pele Yoetz, what are you gaining over here? You're screaming, you're yelling, your face is turning beet red, the smoke is coming out of your nose, the veins are popping out of your neck, and your son is standing there. Guess what? You're not impressed by a father who screams and yells at him like they used to be in the olden days. These days, kids are like, what is wrong with my father? What is wrong with my mother? Why is he screeching? Why is she screaming like that? And you accomplish nothing except you're going to end up getting your son angry with you as well. V'emes amru, the truth is, it says in Mishlei, Teichas ga'ara b'mevin. If you rebuke someone who understands, they will be frightened by the rebuke, and they'll comply. Me'akois ksil meya, then 100 strikes to a fool. Meaning, b'mevin amru, someone who understands and can appreciate the rebuke that they are receiving, so that if you rebuke them, if you put them in their place, they're going to listen to you. But someone who doesn't have that havana, doesn't have that understanding, you can rebuke them, you can yell at them, you can scream at them, you could go wild on them. They're not going to listen anyway. So what have you gained? There are children who don't listen to the voice of their father and their mother at all. And therefore a father and a mother have to have good das. They have to be thinking carefully. They have to recognize and know their children well. The ones that are difficult. The kids that don't have much yiras shamayim, the fear of Hashem. They don't listen to the voice of their father and their mother when they tell them to do something. Lo yitzavu, therefore says the Pele Yoetz, listen what he writes. Lo yitzavu aleim shum davar sheyashvusam. Don't ask your kids to do anything if they're not going to listen to you. Don't take out the trash, don't get me a cup of water, don't clean up after yourself, don't ask them to do anything. And you work very hard as a parent not to get angry with this child. Not to scream at them. Only speak to them softly and gently. I love you so much. Come, let's take out the trash together. But don't ask them, and don't get upset with them, and don't get angry with them. Even though that not all the times that you're going to deal with your children are equal. Sometimes you just will not be able to hold yourself back from asking your child to do something. And they get angry with them when they don't comply. Even to embarrass them, even to curse them. Sometimes parents, they just fly off the handle over here, says the Pele Yoetz, and they do all the wrong things. It happens. The parents, better you should gnash your teeth and grind your teeth, and you'll have a faint heart. When you see your kids doing the wrong things, oh, it hurts so bad. Nothing hurts a parent worse than when his child, that he thought is the biggest tzaddik in the world, is suddenly, it's revealed, he's not such a great tzaddik. He's 4 years old, and he's not really such a tzaddik. She's 11 years old, and you get the call from the principal in the school, and you just realize, my daughter, not the biggest tzaddikus in the world. Your son is in yeshiva, and the Rosh Yeshiva calls you, and you're waiting for that nachas report, and the Rosh Yeshiva says, are you sitting down? Oy vey. Says the Pele Yoetz, it doesn't always work out. Not every kid is going to be the biggest tzaddik in the world, and they each one has their struggles, they each one have their growth they have to make, they each one have the things that they do well and they don't do so well. And it's hard for a parent to see that. It is very hard when a parent sees that his child is failing or falling or struggling or having a hard time and is not complying. It's very difficult. Nevertheless, I'll call upon him. As Asher b'koichem la'asais, whatever a parent could do, Yasu they should do, v'yivchu hara b'miuto, and they should choose the lesser of the evils, which means hold yourself back. Do not allow yourself to get angry. Don't get so disappointed. Do you get disappointed in yourself every time you do the wrong thing? 1,000 times a day? Do you get so angry with yourself every time you look around during davening? Why do we get angry with our kids? Yeah, we can't do that. Because if we do, Pele Yoetz will say we're going to ruin the relationship altogether. The will of a father and a mother is to be mezak, is to give merits to the soul of their children. Shiyasu ratzon avim va'imam, they should do the will of their father and mother. Kibud aveim. V'yizaku es nafsham, and they should purify their children's souls. Basa is nachas ruach liyotzim, give them the merits that they will be able to bring nachas ruach, pleasure, to the Ribbono Shel Olam. Avama yasu k'shein ador doime yafeh. But what could you do if the generation is not so good? Because man shabanim v'abanos eitzel avim v'imam enu chavetzim b'mitzvah zu. Children are by their fathers and their mothers, and they're not so interested in the mitzvah of kibbud avim. My parents said do this. No, not really. I can't. I'm sorry, did you call me? I can't hear you. Yeah, because you have earbuds in your ears all the time, and you're always listening to music, and you're rocking out all the time. Of course you never can hear me. Or you're on the phone all day long. The phone that I bought them so that they're going to be on the phone all the time, and they can't hear anything I have to say. Says the Pele Yoetz, what do you do? What do you do is, they're not machshiv, they don't really give such credence to the parents. However, when the parents will go to Eretz Yisrael, like the Pele Yoetz said before, in your old age, if you could, emigrate and make aliyah, go to Eretz Yisrael, get out of Chutz La'aretz. Or they end up passing from this world and they go to the cemetery. They are buried. Then the children will say, "Oh, if only my father and mother were here. I would lick the dust of their feet. I will take care of them with all of my strength, all of my might." Now, if you want to go to Baruch at that point, after your parents are no longer around, that if you wanted so badly and desire to take care of them, that Hashem is going to give you the schus, He'll give you the schar, the reward, as if you did. You better make sure that you take care of them and listen to them and abide by their words while they're here in the world. Then when you have a good thought even after your parents pass from the world, and you wish that they were here. If you had a good thought, but you can't do it because they're not here, Hashem combines your thoughts with Maisa, with action, and it's as if you did more mitzvah kibbud avim, even though they're no longer in this world. But if you were a very un-kibbud avim child, if you did not listen, you did not obey, you did not pay attention to what they had to say, you did not comply at all, and you're fighting them and arguing and this and that and all ranting and raving, everything else that the kids like to do in our day and age. So then, says the Pele Yoetz, you might have regrets afterward. Too late. Too bad on you, as they say, because you never proved it in their lifetime. Well, the Fiadar is halolu. According to, in these generations, those children that are b'nei aliyah, that are elevated souls, that are growing, that are steiging, that are trying to do the right thing, far and few, he says. This is again over 100 years ago. Imagine what it's like today in our generation, where kids are on screens, they don't even see their parents. Kids, teenage girls are on their phones all day long, they can't hear their parents. The boys are listening to the 24/6, they also cannot hear. And they're busy with this, and busy with that, and they're going here and they're going here. They get in the cars at young ages, they're driving around. Who's listening to their parents anymore? Says the Pele Yoetz. So what do we do? Good question. And he writes the following. So certainly when your children get married, so often, as he's really the Gemara and Mishnah tell us such a thing, often the mother-in-law and her daughter-in-law, they will be miskay tetes, they will fight and argue with each other. So that just adds more fuel to the fire. It is very difficult to give parents the proper honor and respect that they deserve. So you know what would be a good idea, says the Pele Yoetz? The father and the mother, they should take their children at a younger age and make them independent, that they're not relying upon the table of their father and their mother for all of their sustenance and being provided for. So that the kids would want to separate themselves at a younger age and the parents are agreeable, that's a good idea. Why? Because it's good for you to be distanced from your parents than to be always together with each other, and all this bad behavior and midas and everything is going to come about. So maybe if you'll distance yourself, put you someplace else, and you'll be able to sustain yourself. Then when you come back to the house and you see your parents, ooh, tati, mommy, daddy, mommy, wow, abba, ima, what can I do for you? I love you so much. What can we do for the children to honor their father and their mother? If you will, children, honor your father and your mother, so then you will receive tremendous reward in this world. You, when you have your own children, your children will also honor and respect you. And the ultimate reward for the mitzvah kibbud avim will be waiting for you in the world to come. Says the Pele Yoetz, parents, treat your children, understand who they are. No screaming, no yelling, no patching. Yeah, don't take off the belt, don't get the wooden spoon, nothing. Maybe it worked 1,000 years ago. It doesn't work in today's generation. It's with love, with understanding, with patience, with standing back, not asking them for anything, just let it go. And in that way, Be'ez Hashem, our children will do the best they can to hear the voice of their father and their mother. All the best.